there are even, you call it resorts of beaches, of course not as many, but the culture of Sarawakians is very neat. And this is something which I have learned over my past 30 years in the hotel industry. So in terms of tourism, we will have not just on business events as we call. During the pandemic for the past 2 years, the evolution of tourism is something which we as hoteliers will be in collaboration with the travel, in collaboration with convention centers, and without the commitment of the Sarawak government under the premiership of Datuk Patinggi, I do not think that Sarawak will be what it is today. And it is indeed the only state in the country to offer, even for those homecoming Sarawakians, free quarantine in a hotel. So the hotel doesn't have to suffer closure. So thank you, Premier. Thank you very much. The next thing that I will talk about is that in terms of tourism, as you may know, we are the third generating revenue in our GDP as well for the country. And without which, in a hotel, this is something which is like a cascading effect, and the supply chain, that without the business tourism industry, many partners may not even survive economy-wise. And what does that mean? The FMCGs, the airlines, as well as the investors may not even come in. So therefore, what we have now, today, in Sarawak, and I speak because coming from Peninsular Malaysia, it is really an eye-opening, and what pride every Sarawakian has. I've spoken to a few, hotelier friends here, and what pride they have in the premiership. And this is not just saying good, nice, sweet things in front of the premier, but this is really from their heart. So, they feel very proud to be Sarawakian. So it brings me to think that we wish we are, for us back in Peninsula, that we are able to have such great leadership in you, Datuk Patinggi. To have the star rating, as we call it, many countries do not already observe star rating, but of course, with due respect, sometimes there must be a reason why the Tourism Malaysia would still like to continue with this. However, the profiling of our hotels, we in Malaysia have got very good product, if not the services, as well as, people love Malaysia. And why? Because we are very friendly people and very accommodating. We don't need to be followers of the neighboring countries or somewhere up north where, of course, Thailand is one of the countries that is the #1 in tourism, but we can do better than that. The rates and the pricing that sparked the nation through Datuk Megat is that we are believers that if we do not move our rates up, there will be no investors. The capex will be limited. I represent a group that has 10 hotels in Malaysia, and my owner says to me, you need to make more money because I can't afford to give you more money for your capex and your renovation. So it's a cascading effect again. So therefore, in terms of pricing, with the exception of some anti-competition act, please don't record this and don't repeat this in the news, but we really have to work very hard to raise the rates. The hotels rates in Malaysia is the lowest in the world. And we have the best services in the world too, one of the best, all right? So this is something which we need to drive and to be passionate. It's going to be a long journey, but we need to start from somewhere. So to Sarawak, well done, congratulations for making the effort. To John and your leadership through the chapter. Thank you, John, for your leadership in driving these rates forward. Many years ago in Langkawi, and in Penang, there used to be well, whether you call it a cartel or something like that, but there was a camaraderie of efforts put together amongst hoteliers to make sure that the rates don't fall under a certain tier back then. And it was successful, I have to say, because we do not allow the competition or even the wholesalers from the international perspective to bully us, if I may put it that way. And I was very privileged to be part of that working committee many years ago. And this can work and it will help, provided there won't be, today I say I will commit to the rate structure, but tomorrow I will work backwards. However, if everyone bites that, just like what Mr. John Teo has mentioned, that without this raise in rates, how then are we going to pay better, healthier salaries and pay, and how are we then going to promote the hotel or the tourism as the employer of choice in our industry? So this is an effort that will take a long journey, but together we will be able to make that. Talking about logistics and flights, we have to, and just in speaking to Datuk Patinggi just a while ago, you know, our national carrier can be a little bit costly, and the air accessibility is not very favorable. So sometimes these are the efforts, the collaborative efforts that we have. And I think being a new team member in the board of directors for Tourism Malaysia, I would definitely want to raise this up, because we have the BODs from Malaysia Airlines and AirAsia, right, Mr. He? So, you know, we definitely need to drive this forward, because our industry, tourism, not just hotel, needs to move its way up. But I'm getting the feeling, I'm not a fortune teller, I'm not a, you know, I don't have a magical ball here with me, but I think Sarawak will take lead. Seriously, not just saying it because I'm here, but the way it is shared with me, there is a plan. Datuk Patinggi has big plans, not alang-alang, as I would like to echo back what Datuk Patinggi says. So I think, you know, looking at Sarawak, congratulations once again, and it is an honor for the board and the members of the MA National, represented by the various board members and the chapter chairman, to be here and to have this honor with Datuk Patinggi, and also especially with the Minister of Tourism, Datuk Sri Karim, that together with both your leadership, it is indeed going to drive Sarawak at the top, and you will be the reference point for everyone to follow. So, which is something very, very honorable, because Malaysia has really an enhancing situation of, you know, driving tourism. With that, I would like to put a close. Thank you very much. And again, from the bottom of my heart, this Land of the Hornbill is awesome. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam Christina To, President of Malaysian Association of Hotels. Ladies and gentlemen, we now have the pleasure to invite the Honorable Engineer Dennis Ngao, Chairman of Sarawak Tourism Board, to say a few words. Yang berhormat, please.
Thank you, Saudara MC. Good evening, salam sejahtera, salam Sarawakku sayang. The Right Honorable Datuk Patinggi Tan Sri Dr. Abang Haji Abdul Rahman Johari bin Tun Datuk Abang Haji Openg, Premier of Sarawak, Guest of Honor, of this evening special dinner. Sir, thank you so much for taking time off to be with us here at this event, despite your super hectic work schedule. The Honorable Datuk Sri Haji Abdul Karim Rahman Hamzah, Minister of Tourism, Creative Industry and Performing Arts, Sarawak, Minister of Youth and Sport and Entrepreneur Development, Sarawak, Yang berbahagia Saudara Encik Hee Chang Kee, Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Tourism, Creative Industry and Performing Arts, Sarawak, as well the Deputy Chairman of Sarawak Tourism Board, Yang berbahagia Puan Sazet Datuk Haji Saleh Asko, Chief Executive Officer of Sarawak Tourism Board, Yang berbahagia Puan Christina Toh, Malaysian Association of Hotels National President, Puan Amelia Roziman, Chief Executive Officer of BE Sarawak, Saudara Encik John Teo, Mah Sarawak Chapter Chairman, Yang berbahagia Datuk Megat Sahrul Azman Abbas, Malaysian Association of Hotel National Honorable Secretary General, distinguished guests, tuan-tuan dan puan-puan yang saya hormati sekalian. A very good evening to YB Premier of Sarawak and all of you present here tonight. It is my pleasure to welcome you all to this dinner and to say a few words representing Sarawak Tourism Board. Again, thank you all for taking your time to be with us here at this dinner. Foremost, we would like to give thanks to our good God for allowing us to be here tonight at this nice and enjoyable evening. Allow me to share about the beauty of Sarawak for members of MAH who are not familiar of Sarawak, excluding a president that has been here many times. Sarawak is a home to 28 ethnic groups with their own unique tradition, lifestyle, music, and food. We are truly a melting pot of diverse cultures, ethnicities, and cuisine. I guess some of you from Semenanjung don't even recognize who am I actually. I'm one from a very small tribe in Sarawak yang dipanggil orang Ulu. Banyak orang tidak paham apa itu orang Ulu. Kita ada cousin, ada orang Utan. In Sarawak, there is always more to discover or to rediscover. We take pride in the 5 pillars of Sarawak tourism. There is culture, adventure, nature, food, and festival, also known as CANFF. Sarawak is a destination where you can see authentic culture and age-old heritage alive and thriving with an eclectic blend of modernization and digitization. Sarawak is also a place where adventures are waiting to happen. Nature lovers can realize in the beauty of our pristine rainforest from any of our 23 national parks that are open to the public. One to mention among the many we have here in Sarawak is our Gunung Mulu National Park, which is a recognized UNESCO World Heritage Site since the year 2000. Adventure lovers can enjoy thrill-seeking activities such as hiking, off-road biking, deep-sea diving, caving, so forth and so forth. Besides that, Sarawak holds strong potential in becoming a major tourism destination in food tourism destination in this region of Asia due to its variety of local dishes and distinctive cooking method. Kuching is the first city in Malaysia to be named Creative City of Gastronomy by UNESCO in 2021. In addition to that, Sarawak has an incredibly rich art scene comprising the one-of-a-kind traditional craft such as keringkam, embroidery, puak kumbu weaving, something that you wear now, beadworks, basketry, and many, many more. Kuching City has always earned the quote, World Craft City unquote status by the World Craft Council in 2019. Ladies and gentlemen, when we entered the pandemic phase 2 years ago, the Sia Situ Sarawak Intra-State Campaign was launched by the Sarawak Tourism Board, exclusively for Sarawakians and Sarawak residents, in collaboration with Sarawak Tourism Federation in August 2020, to boost local travel throughout Sarawak. The campaign is also part of STB's stimulus measure to sustain and maintain the tourism ecosystem to support the local industry players during the pandemic. With the success of Sia Situ Sarawak tour packages, STB then had Sia Situ Sarawak accommodation, which was mentioned by John just now. This is as an extended version of the homegrown Sia Situ Sarawak brand as part of the STB's additional measures to boost the accommodation sector, offering special deals for hotels, resort, and other accommodation registered under Mah Sarawak chapter and My Bar. The Sia Situ Sarawak accommodation campaign was a huge success. Though through Mah Travel Platform, a total of 16,655 rooms were booked throughout the campaigns. I am very proud with all our collective efforts to rebuild the tourism sector. On that note, I am excited to share with all of you that the next Sia Situ campaign with the theme, quote, Discover Sarawak Gem, unquote, for tour packages and accommodation, which will commence next month, which is September. The official date will be announced soon, so stay tuned. Of course, to ensure the continuous success of the campaign, we cannot work in silo. So let us continue to work hand in hand to increase Sarawak's visibility and stay connected with potential markets as we move beyond the pandemic. Our heartfelt gratitude to IAB, Datuk Petinggi Tan Sri Dr. Abang Haji Abdul Rahman Johari bin Tun Datuk Abang Haji Openg for being thoroughly involved in the tourism sector. Sir, your presence here tonight is a testimony to your commitment in ensuring the growth of tourism industry. Thank you, sir, very much. A word of thanks also goes to our Sarawak State Tourism Minister, YB Datuk Sri Haji Karim, because he was the head, the mind, and the driving force of all successes STBs have all along. A very committed and full of fresh ideas how to make Sarawak a preferred tourist destination in this region. Thank you, sir, Minister. Conrad Hilton, I guess the owner of this hotel, was asked how many people were needed to run a quality hotel. And he replied, tongue in cheek, just one, the general manager. Most of you, if not all of you, are holding that general manager position wherever you are working in the industry. A key position that drive the industry, the hotel industry, and a key position that lead through. So we are very hopeful that when you go back to your working place, please share your experience about Sarawak to your guests, your friend, or family, and anybody that you come across. I look forward to seeing more collaboration between STB and MAH, both at national and state level chapter. Before I end, I would like to present our destination video entitled, quote, "A Journey Awaits," unquote, that highlights some of the many great tourism spots in Sarawak. Please enjoy. Thank you.
This is a new horizon. One we'd never imagined. In a land as old as time lies the ancient wisdom of mankind. We are all in search of something greater, to find meaning in the mysteries long forgotten. What if we went back to where it all began and reconnect with our origin? Now feel the rhythm of Sarawak. This is our prayer for the world. May you come alive even in the stillness as you awaken to newfound senses. May this life be a more immersive journey for as far as you wander. Sarawak, your journey begins here.
Video presentation titled "A Journey Awaits." We also like to thank Yang Berhormat Encik Dennis Ngau, Chairman of STB, for his speech earlier. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives us great pleasure to now invite our guest of honor, the Right Honourable Datuk Petinggi Tan Sri Dr. Abang Haji Abdul Rahman Zohari bin Tun Datuk Abang Haji Openg, Premier of Sarawak, to deliver his speech. The Right Honourable Datuk Petinggi, please.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat petang, very good evening. Salam sejahtera dan salam Sarawakku sayang. Yang berhormat Saudara Datuk Seri Abdul Karim Hamzah, Minister of Tourism, Creative Industry and Performing Art. Yang berhormat Saudara Dennis Ngau, Chairman STB and also his CEO. Madam Sazidi, Yang Besar Saudara Hi Changki, Permanent Secretary to the Ministry, Yang berbahagia Presiden Malaysian Association of Hotel, Madam Christina To, and her counterpart in Sarawak, Mr. John Teo, Madam Amelia Roziman yang menjaga business event. Seterusnya tuan-tuan, puan-puan, para hadirin yang saya hormati sekalian, terima kasih kerana menjemput saya untuk bersama-sama dengan para pemain industri pelancongan. Difficult for me to say no when you invite me. As you know, I was appointed as Minister of Tourism twice in Sarawak. And therefore, it is very dear to me, the tourism sector, which is a very important sector too. So I also speak from my heart. Pandemic period was a challenge to us. It has affected all sectors of our economy, including hoteliers and those in tourism industry. People are not moving. The PKP has really restricted movement. Nobody is able to work. Nobody is able to run because of this restriction. And therefore, the Sarawak government tried to assist all these sectors of economy, the hawkers, the small enterprises, including tourism players and the hoteliers. So what we did was, in order to avoid deep repercussion on the hoteliers, we have decided all those people who are quarantined are to be quarantined in the hotel. And then, my colleagues were asking, it will be a lot of money, costing a lot of money. I told Karim, never mind. We asked them to stay 2 weeks in the hotel with makan free, all borne by the state government. That is to avoid your rooms being empty. At least you got 2 weeks there. The other one is your F&B is running with free food. Of course, it costs money, but I've checked whether we got money or not. I said, boleh lah. Since I managed to get some money from our sales tax, so I said, I gave back to people. So that was what we have been doing. And also, as you know, we gave rebate, a lot of rebate on electricity, water supply, and even we gave certain assistance to our, tourist guide, the tambang people, the taxi driver. We give them, and that's where we spent 5.8 billion ringgit for the last 2 years, just to help people facing this pandemic. So this is what's happening. Thank God, now we have recovered. So what we do, we try to formalize a policy of how to recover from this pandemic. Thus, the post-COVID-19 development recovery strategy, PCDS 2030. And one of the 6 sectors that are given emphasis is tourism. Meaning we are going to spend money to develop our tourism sector. After the last election, I formed a new ministry, that is Ministry of Tourism, Creative Industry and Performing Art under Datuk Karim. I know Datuk Karim can do it. So that's why we have this new ministry. So you must see, normally we have Ministry of Tourism, Culture and Arts. But Sarawak, we have Ministry of Tourism, Creative Industry and Performing Art, which is quite different because it is interrelated. Creative industry meaning we want people to be innovative, and innovative as well as creative. Thus, when I became CM Sarawak, what I did was I started TV. The only state having TV is Sarawak, TVS. That will give inspiration and encouragement for people to, to create something, to perform, at the same time, to be good in performing art. Because we got a lot of good singers. We got a lot of good dancers. And we also got a lot of beautiful people. Miss Malaysia kita ada, Miss Universe kita pun ada. Cukup. Jadi, what we do, we try to build up this culture. So much so, once you got somebody who is popular, the place become popular too. It's automatic. If you can, have somebody who has that credential and people know worldwide, automatically people come, which state? Sarawak. Oh, why not we go to Sarawak? Banyak orang cantik sana. And then there's a lot of budaya, culture there. People can live happily, irrespective of our religious background. We stay as if we are in a family. Kalau, there's one incident. The question of timah, remember? Timah also become problem. that nama timah become problem just because the liquor is named after timah. Not necessarily mean timah a lady. Tin also timah, is it? So they become small things also become problem. When you got problem, then you sensitize it, become sensitive. Who want to come? When the place is not that stable, ada problem, nobody will come. But if we are living harmoniously and then we respect each other, people will automatically come. So this is what we have in mind. But tonight I want to share with you what we are going to do in future. Number one, when you see that we are building our infrastructure, road, one is Pen Borneo, the other one is coastal road, meaning mobility. People are mobile. If tourists want to enjoy our coastal area, they just take a ride on a car and enjoy. Ikan Terubok in Subuyau. Maybe they want to go to Kapit for Ompurau on their own. Last time we depend on express boat, but now you can drive to Kapit, even right up to Bali. There's road infrastructure, meaning mobility. Number two, we have to build a lot of meeting places. Tonight, I want to share with you that we have decided to extend our convention center, another building. That will allow not only convention, but also for exhibition. A right place for exhibition in Kuching. We hope it will be completed by the year 2024, because we are going to have a major convention here on hydrogen. Because, I've been asked to speak about hydrogen. Next month I'll be in Japan to speak on hydrogen, the new economy. So I was in Rotterdam. And another one is one to build in Miri, another convention center. Of course, Amelia is asking for Cebu. But I said, wait first, because we have to, we have a master plan for Cebu. Cebu is prone for flooding. So Cebu actually is under river, a lot of pit. It is lowland. So I have said it publicly that Amsterdam is below the sea. So we want to build Cebu below the river, just like Amsterdam, with the canal. So once that is built, that is in our master plan, but it takes years to do it, then perhaps people automatically will come to Cebu. So this is the infrastructure that we have. Then in terms of our culture performing art, we are doing a lot of to transform our old Dun to be a performing art center. And that will be a place for us to show our culture and also the creative industry. And this is a lot of investment that we are going to invest for this services sector. Having said that, what is our policy on trying to attract tourists besides our natural attractions such as the national park? We have national park. Kuching now is declared as geopark in Malaysia, one of the geopark. Also, city of gastronomy, pasal makan-makan, all there. So what is our policy? What should we do in terms of attracting tourists? Do we want mass tourists or do you want selected tourists? There's a difference between the two. I tell you, when I was looking after tourism, I went to our neighbor state, and there was this resort. Then the manager of the hotel told me, he said, careful, you must select what sort of tourists you come in. I had an incident in this hotel, according to him. Because of mass tourists, they stayed in that hotel. What happened is, you are the bedman. Your bed is on the carpet. They potong the carpet under the bed. They potong and they bring it back. So when the hotel next day, the room service tengok tidak ada carpet lagi bawah katil. So they said careful, because these people sometimes they just stay in hotel first time maybe. So they may take the carpet, they may take even TV. This aircon. He was telling me TV and carpet. So he said careful. So I think for us, you must try to differentiate between mass tourists and selected tourists. For Sarawak, we go for prime tourists. That is the selected tourists. That's why we organize business event, and we organize all this rainforest. This is special tourists. They are not mass tourists. Even though you don't have the number, normally the mass tourists don't want to pay high. They potong-potong. But the prime tourists, they don't care. Even you charge 500, they will pay 500 because you got the prime product. So, in other words, when you talk about price war, it depends on, what type of tourist you are attracting. Kalau turis itu murah, murah lah, bayar. Kalau turis itu mahal, mahal dia bayar. They don't mind to pay. But if you go for this mass tourist, I think you are going to get this sort of problem in terms of, prices in the hotel. So for Sarawak government, we go for that. But we upgrade our infrastructure. When we are building bridges, we want to make the bridges also very attractive. If you go to Bintulu, we are constructing cable stay. The one Batang Lupa also cable stay. And then we put lights on it. So, with that bridge, with light, very attractive. In a rural area, people want to rest in rural area with ikan terubuk, for instance, in Subuyao. Because the scenery will be very nice. So that is why when we do our infrastructure, we do it, in order to give that feeling. Then people will come. Just like us, when you go to San Francisco, you want to see that red bridge. It's the same. Kapal datang Kuching mau pergi Satok Bridge. They find Satok Bridge now got lights, you see. We put lights there. And also Ogos River, we are upgrading our waterfront. Waterfront is the natural phenomenon now. Everywhere I go, people ask for waterfront. Limbang lah, Spau lah. These are the basic infrastructure. Dennis Ngau area, Baram, we are going to build the road. From Miri now, we are building a bridge, constructing a bridge, crossing the Baran River to Marudi. And we are going to build a road from Marudi right to Long Tarawan, just outside Mulu. And then that road will go outside the Mulu because Mulu is UNESCO. Outside the boundary, right up to Limbang, where Gunung Buddha is. And this Gunung Buddha is the same chamber together with Mulu. Once you go Gunung Buddha, you go to Limbang. From Limbang, you go to Brunei. So likewise, from Brunei or from northern part, Miri, you can go to Limbang. So the whole road will be constructed, and that is easy for tourists to enjoy the culture of Orang Ulu, and then to see the scenery in the, in the rural area. There is one area we have not developed called Gunung Apau. Dusun Apau. Beautiful waterfall. I think that one is macam kita pergi Kanada dengan US, Niagara Falls. It's similar, very nice, very cooling. And that is part of the program in our long-term development up to the year 2030 and our post-COVID-19. So ladies and gentlemen, itu saja yang saya nak share with Malaysian Association of Hotel. Bear with us. It has to, it's a lot of investment coming in, a lot of fun, but not only tourism, but the whole sector of our economy will be improved. Finally, I think it's good that you have discussed about this two-tier pricing. Indonesia, I think, has got two-tier. And then I hope you have a common platform, common idea on that for the benefit of everybody. But one thing, we also want to improve our wellness. I just came back from Budapest. I went to this wellness center owned by a doctor. And this wellness is a sort of, from the medical point of view, because the water is oxygen. And this oxygen will sort of reinstate your energy and can fight diseases, including cancer. There's a special machine to produce this oxygen. And of course, the owner is a doctor himself. I understand they have one in Star Hill, Kuala Lumpur. And we are going to have this wellness center also in Damai. In Damai, we are going to upgrade Damai. And then the private sector is going to construct 2 international hotels in Sumatan. And then with this infrastructure, I think we can attract medical tourism as well as the prime tourists that I have been sharing with you. To you, I wish you all the best, and we work together. As long as I'm Prima, I will be together with Karim to help you in the tourism sector. With that, thank you very much, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you very much, sir. Please remain on stage for the presentation memento. We once again invite Madam Christina To, along with Yang Berbahagia Datuk Megat Syarul Azman. Ladies and gentlemen, the Malaysian Association of Hotels would like to present our guest of honor, the Right Honourable Datuk Petinggi Tan Sri Dr. Abang Haji Abdul Rahman Zohari bin Tun Datuk Abang Haji Openg, with a special souvenir, gracing us with his presence here this evening in this special dinner. Sir, again, we request you to remain on stage. Mah would also like to present a special souvenir to Yang Berhormat Datuk Seri Haji Abdul Karim Rahman Hamzah, our Minister. Silakan Yang Berhormat Datuk Seri. Datuk Seri, we request you to remain on stage as well. We'll have a group photo after this. Next, we invite Yang Berhormat Cik Dennis Ngau to receive a special souvenir from Mah National. Next, we invite Mr. Hee Chang Kee, Permanent Secretary to the Ministry. Souvenir is also presented to Puan Shazad Datuk Haji Saleh Asko.